Start us off, Master.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the FG podcast.
FG, I like that. FJ, the FG.
Fucking
genius. Oh, yeah, it's out there now.
Yeah. I'm your host, Zachary Zuniga, and today I'm here with Jay.
Hey.
And Caesar and Angel.
Hi. Jahir. We're here, baby.
So whether you're a seasoned content creator or just getting started, this episode is going to help you with some valuable insights and tips to help you unleash your creativity and thrive here in El Paso.
I don't know if I can do this with this.
Yes. I don't know why I turned into a game show contestant.
Bro. I was like, whoa.
So do you guys want to talk about like being a content creator, or what is the content that you want to talk about here? Because the way I framed it was like being a content creator and helping unleash your creativity.
I think we should break down like content, talk about content that we enjoy or like what's been working and stuff. Because I was telling Jay, like, I think this podcast will be valuable to us if we, like, even if nobody listens, if we're doing some sort of activity that would help the business, and our skill. Because if we're doing it just for listens, it's not going to, I think it's only going to go so far.
Okay.
Because we're trying to perform.
So let me see.
This should be a part of like our brainstorming process.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In regards to like business processes.
So who are our ideal target listeners?
People like us, I think, who make content, who are like wanting to make content, and I think also businesses who will want to learn. Mm-hmm. But I think more like content creators.
Okay.
I think this would become a community of content creators. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I agree.
So is it okay for me to start out the way I did? So whether you're a seasoned content creator or just starting out.
Mm-hmm. What are you using? Are you just writing it down, or are you using ChatGPT?
No, I'm using Microsoft Word.
Word. Word.
And should I name you guys from De La Story?
No, do we want like a cohesive name?
Explain what's going on in this pod.
Okay.
What is going on?
So welcome to another exciting episode of the FG podcast, fucking genius podcast. I'm your host, Zachary Zuniga, and today we're diving deep into the world of content creation with Angel, Caesar, and Jay. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. This is the beginning of something great.
So the whole idea behind this podcast is to talk about the kind of content that's exciting to us and to help you guys kind of unleash your creativity and learn from us and some of the mistakes and hardships. But yeah, we're here to give you guys a taste of what we do on a daily basis, and we're excited to talk to you.
Do we want to dive into like how we met and stuff? I feel like that'd be good context.
Yeah. So a little backstory. Angel and Caesar are actually from a different company called De La Story, and we just recently partnered together to start doing content creation. And Caesar, you want to tell us a little bit about what happened?
Bro, the fucking day that I met Zach, not gonna lie to you, I was like, all right, I'm chilling. But I was like, motherfucker. Moving in next door. I hope you're cool. Because Zach moved in 2 doors down from our office, right? And then like he came up to us, but we were at Doug's, which if you haven't been, it's Aaron and George's Cafe. It's fucking awesome. All right. Yeah. And he approaches us and he's like, hey, you guys are the De La Story guys. And we're like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm Zach. I have Zazu and we're a media company too. And I was like, really?
We do the same thing that you do.
Yeah. And so like the thing is that I am of the philosophy, I think me and Angel are of the philosophy of like, there's no competition in content, right? But in El Paso, and I'm sure in every city, there's like, people just get competitive and they get weird. So I just was unsure if Zach was going to be that way.
And what do you think?
It's been disappointing. I'm competitive. Not competitive, but weird. No, he's not competitive at all. It was fucking great. He was like, it was crazy. It's like, it's been weird how, honestly, if we look back on this and we look at how it all happened, you guys moving in 2 doors down, that we have similar philosophies, that we had like similar visions. It's pretty fucking crazy because you don't meet people like this often.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's great, honestly. I think it's really important to collaborate with people, especially for something that we're doing that's unique and new to El Paso. Not a lot of people are focusing on just content creation for social media, which is kind of our expertise. Well, you guys' expertise specifically.
I think it's all of us.
Yeah.
I think we're all...
We all have our own flavor of it,
And I think...
yeah, I was just going to say, it's like, I think from our experiences, that's kind of where we're, like I come from working with a bigger company that they don't necessarily need a lot of user-generated content, but they need to show off, like the product at like a high scale. So I don't have a lot of experience making stuff like you, but I think that's what makes this work so well, is the blend of where we come from and where you guys come from.
Yep.
And then we cover like all grounds.
So I think this is the perfect time to kind of jump into some of the content for today, which is I wanted to talk about the creative process with you guys. Caesar, what goes into the content that you create? Like, what is your process? How do you think about content? How do you develop it, ideas, etc.?
When it usually starts with like like something that's inspiring, like that restaurant in Charlatan. I had been wanting to go for a while, and then I just happened to be that my cousin's wedding was right next to it, and I was like, "What the fuck? This is the place!" And I was not planning on making a video, but I recorded it all. And then this is why collaboration is so important. We had our intern Erica, and I asked her like, "Hey, what kind of content do you like to watch?" And she told me I like to watch those videos that are like, "Oh, here's this place in El Paso, here's this place in Dallas." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's fucking cool. Yeah, we can do that." And I looked back in my phone and I had recorded all that stuff. And I was like, "Oh, I can definitely make something work with this." And so for me, the most important part is the music. I'm like, okay, I need to find the music, and I kind of know what flavor I'm looking for. And it's kind of like upbeat, Mexican. And so I was just going through my Spotify, and then I found La Canción del Mariachi. Like, and then I felt it. I don't know, I feel it. I'm like, oh, I like the beats. And that's how I start. It starts with the music, and then everything comes after that.
What's the biggest challenge you think to making a good piece of content, something that goes viral?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. What do you think, Angel?
Well, I just feel like you have to start off the idea with something you find interesting. And then once you find something interesting, I feel that'll start to grab towards what other people find interesting. So it's going to be something different. It's going to be something that makes it exciting for you to create. And as you create something that you find interesting, I think that passion will show in that piece of content.
Jay, what kind of stuff excites you right now?
I love it when someone's really good at something and they just show like what they're up to and just how they do it. Like, I like someone that can master their craft and then like make a cool video about it. Like, for example, I'm really into like hip hop beats, and so there's a thing called Rhythm Roulette on YouTube by a channel called Mass Appeal, and they'll get some of the best like underground hip hop or not underground hip hop producers. They blindfold them, take them to a record shop, and they pick 3 random records, and then they have to go back to the studio and make 3 beats with those records. But it's really cool to see everybody has their own way of making it, but it's all at the highest level, but everyone does it differently. And I love to see that, or cooking, or someone that does like professional like sailboat, and they have a YouTube channel, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna sail the Atlantic. And then I like to watch. I guess I'd like to watch people at their highest level doing what they do.
People who compete.
Well, not because like the hip hop stuff is not really a competition, you know. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I feel like what seems interesting about that is that they're putting themselves on purpose into a challenging situation.
Yeah.
And so it like changes their environment, and it creates
Like ice baths.
ice bath.
Yeah.
Yeah. It creates this sense of suffering, but recovery at the same time.
Absolutely.
I guess it's a story too, you know. It's interesting to me, like you said, it's like there's dudes, or I watch people there's a guy that builds cabins. Like, he'll just film himself building a cabin on YouTube from zero to a cabin, and
Love that.
by himself.
Survivalism.
It's great.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
I think the Mr. Beast puts it like really simply, and I think Gary Vee also does, but Mr. Beast really hones in on it. It's just like a video is either good or bad. It's not a viral video. If it's a viral video, it's like a good, really good video, and so it's up to us to figure out why. and like the people are
What
constantly
makes it good? You mean?
yeah, what makes it good. And so like people are constantly like, we just watch good videos and that's what goes viral. And like when you come at it from that philosophy, I think it gets a lot simpler, because then you don't worry about like, well, the algorithm, like posting at this time. It's like none of that matters if the video is good. Like you could double post and it'll be both will do well. Like we've tested that. And
You think that's the same thing as building an audience too? Like building an audience is essentially just you have to have good content first, and that's how you build organic audiences.
no, what up?
Like sometimes I hear you and then I don't hear you. I don't know.
It's
Mic's too high.
Should I step away?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Okay, just keep it under my.
Maybe you can point it towards your mouth.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that.
Yeah,
There you go.
there you
I
go.
felt like my back was just like.
Yeah, you can make it higher.
Yeah,
Way up there.
that's
Test. Okay.
Oh Jesus, fuck!
Oh God, Caesar, come on.
All right.
So we can have nice stuff, dude.
I think building an audience is different. I think, well, it's a little different. I think it comes with good content, but like then it's another challenge, because you could just have viral videos, but nobody gives a fuck about your brand.
Talk to me about your audience and how you've built it over the past couple weeks, even.
Dude, oh man. We've been doing this one thing, which is like showing people cool places around town, El Paso, and then we just added a voiceover that I think adds a little more. But honestly, I don't think it's super crazy. What do you guys?
So you want to go into the specifics of like your following? I'm asking you outside of the podcast, but like, do you want to talk about your following on the podcast and like your metrics and like kind of what you've seen happen?
Yeah. Well, like we've been growing about 1,000 followers on a week on Instagram. But one of the things that I learned with TikTok, I grew a following to 27,000. But that's when I learned like building an audience is different, because you can have a large following and nobody cares, right? And so it's just kind of like, yeah, people who clicked follow, but they don't really give a fuck. And then with what's been happening with us is like we're posting this type of video and it's hitting people in El Paso, and then it just keeps going. I'm still trying to understand it, so that's why I'm interested to hear, like, in terms of metrics. You can I guess 7,000 followers in the last, I think it's been 5 weeks, right?
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4. Yeah. And then
What started this whole process?
the process was, well, we've always been trying to find viral videos. Really, Erica, the intern, coming in and me asking her the question, what type of videos do you like to watch? And that was a big insight, because it's like, I don't necessarily watch a lot of content. Like when I do, it's like on YouTube and stuff, but she was like, I like this style. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. That's easy. And so one thing I've learned is also copying what's already working and like doing it your own style. Me and Jay have been talking about like different styles, like the website's one. Sometimes a proven style works, and like there's underlying things that you can't that you don't know yet why it works. But that's why copying the format, I feel like works a lot, because it's like a package. Like you're getting a package of techniques that you don't even know about.
Was there a specific video that kind of took off for you guys? The first one?
You want to answer that, Adrian?
I mean, it was your charlatan video. I mean, I think that was the first really viral one. I mean, I guess one of the first ones where we started to see some type of increase was like that coffee one, like the tutorial. But
yeah,
I mean, that was the first time that we had seen
10,000 views.
10,000 views, anything above like 5 digits. But I guess it's because it was a simplified, long process. So we made this basically thing that takes like 20 minutes, but we condensed it down into 1 minute, and made it easy to consume, I guess, in that aspect. That was our first one. But then the one that really like started improving our following was the charlatan video. Was basically just providing an experience, but also a bit of a personal touch in regards to like the voiceover that I guess highlighted the good aspects of that restaurant.
Yeah, we had seen the one before that did like 10,000 views, which was the New York Deli, and that excited me. I was like, oh fuck, we got to keep going, right? And then the next one just blew up. It was like 100,000, and then the next one after that 100,000, and then you tried it 100,000, and then Erica tried it and hers got 100,000, and then the Tony's one got 300,000, and then it was just like, okay, this format works, and then we just keep doing what works. I feel like, I mean, we could even go back to that other one, the coffee one that you did. Like if that worked, we should try to see if it continues to work.
Yeah, I think part of it is that we do have to like maintain a type of like creative uniqueness, but also go along with what's being accepted now. Because sometimes if you stick to like the old ways, people get kind of bored, and then you have to like kind of go with what people are finding entertaining now. I think it's our job as creators to create from a personal space, a place where we feel freedom, but also we want to entertain the audience. So there has to be like a give and a take in regards to the kind of content we make. Yeah, and that could be a deeper topic we go into a little bit later.
I agree.
Yeah.
Great story. So I have a question, which is, how much of that do you attribute to the content itself, and how much do you attribute to the actual subject of what you're making? Like in this case, Charlottetown, the restaurant, which is a very unique restaurant in Socorro, outside of El Paso, Texas. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. I'm thinking about it.
Take your time.
I think it's both, but I think what matters most is the execution of it. Like my aim, and I really believe that you can get to this, is like, give me any idea, any shitty idea. Ideally, when we're super good at this, and you could make it viral. Because I think the execution is the most important part. Like it's almost like taking just a simple item like an apple or something and trying to make a viral video out of that. I feel like it's possible with the right cameras and the right angles. Yeah, so it's the execution. I think it's a lot about the execution. And then in the beginning, I feel like the interesting subject helps a lot. Because then that helps you. I mean, if it's visually appealing and stuff, it's a lot easier. But I think the execution is the bigger part there.
What kind of impact have these videos had on the businesses that you're kind of featuring?
Bro, that shit's been wild. Dude, that's like, okay, when I first started studying, I'm going to say this real quick. When I first started studying social media, my first teacher was Gary Vee, right? And I would like fucking all day just listening to all the talks and him talking over and over. It's like, dude, it's going to impact your business so much. And I guess you don't get it until you see it, but it's like it fucking works. It's crazy. These people, I mean, we've gone to businesses and they say like, yeah, like at Charlatan, they're like, we don't usually take these meetings, these marketing meetings, because like they charge us a lot, but your video got a shit ton of views, and we've been booked ever since the video. And people, we asked them where are they coming from, and they say TikTok and Instagram. And then we went to Tony's, and they were like, yeah, the day that you posted it, people just started coming in, and we were like, what the fuck is happening? We were like, get more food on the grill or whatever. And they ran out of brisket, and it happened every day. They kept running out.
Can't run out of brisket.
Yeah. And she told us like our business has increased like about 30%.
That's
amazing.
And it's fucking blowing our minds. And then on our side, all the people reaching out like, can you do a video? 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 It's like, dude, social media, the power of media is fucking incredible.
It's crazy.
And then that's why it's like, it's just reps. We just gotta.
How do you decide what's next then?
I don't know, Jay. How do we decide what's next?
We have a lot of ideas.
Anything good?
But I think the biggest thing is he's correct about the formula thing, because I guess an example is like if we give like a good chef and a shitty chef the same ingredients, the good chef is going to make something insane, and the chef that doesn't know how to do it isn't going to do anything. Yeah. So I think you're right. As long as you know the formula, which we kind of know a formula, but I think we're going to get, like you said, more reps. But yeah, I think we have a lot of ideas. A lot of ideas are similar to what you're already doing, right?
Right.
We're going to just kind of make really great content, and for companies and local companies or not local companies, and see, if we can make some noise for them. And then
love that.
I think it really just starts with, like Caesar was saying, just good content.
Dude, because I was visualizing, I was like, oh, by the way, Angel pointed to this. I guess this is what's next. This wall of ideas. This is where we go. But dude, if we focus on the skill, right? If we all become monsters, like I just see it, we become monsters. We find out the formula, because I'll say it. We suck at making content right now, and that's like relative.
That's okay.
Yeah, like compared to like big content creators, we suck. But compared to a lot of people, we're way better.
It's time under tension though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just got to keep doing reps and
Yeah.
getting better every day.
if you're
1% better every day.
If you're thinking of it like the Olympics, like we're not there yet.
No.
But we can get there.
Yeah.
Then I get hyped. And that skill, bro, it's like once we, whatever happens to our company, like we sell it or we keep it, but like our own lives are going to be so, I feel like there's going to be so much freedom that we get from acquiring this skill because it's so valuable. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take it anywhere with you.
You could do anything with it. The ability to market is like, bro, give me an idea. I got you.
So how does your personal brand kind of coexist with what you're doing with these businesses exactly? And how do you develop a personal brand?
What do you think, Angel?
Because Angel, you mentioned authenticity. Like you have to be authentic with the content that you're creating. Like, can you speak to that a little more? Like, what exactly do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you follow what excites you, then you're going to be passionate about something. I feel like that's one thing about like creating stuff for clients, is that there's a bit of a disconnection whenever it's somebody else's idea or somebody else's passion project or something else that you're capturing, versus when you create with something that you get excited about, some kind of hobby or something that you want to continue learning about. I mean, education, wanting to pursue knowledge. I feel like that is where the best projects and pieces of art come from. Maybe, and something that you just want to keep building. I mean, in building a business, doesn't it excite you whenever like you create from a brand new idea that you came up with on the spot from something that inspired you from a creator?
Yeah, that happens all the time, as a matter of fact.
I mean,
Every day.
I guess in regards to like what projects excite you more, the ones that you create for clients or the ones that you create for yourself?
The ones I create for myself, definitely, but I also love creating for clients too. I think there's something special about translating a client's vision into a piece of art, into something that you created, just kind of based off of even simple.
Yeah, I was going to say there's opportunities or there's times where the client lets you be the creative person and come up with the idea. And I think that's when it's like the mixture of you're creating for the client, but it's your vision and you can bring some of your passions in. I think that's like for me at least, that's like the golden like hour.
And once you cultivate a style that people kind of know you for, I think people are attracted to that and kind of contact you based on that alone. You know, like I want that aesthetic in what I'm doing. So
I think we're seeing it with Caesar already. People want that.
Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah, and then I agree.
What else you got?
Authenticity, consistency, and content creation. Jay?
Yeah, go for it, Jay.
I mean, it's everything, right? I think it's something like you were saying, it's repetitions. I think the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. But it's a difficult thing to just keep coming up with ideas.
What if you have a recipe?
Right. I think it's like a series of habits. It is difficult to come up with ideas, and I think that's why Mr. Beast has those meetings, like just meetings for ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're starting to develop that. We're going to have meetings for just ideas, and it's like you got to feed the machine, and the machine of content creation is based on ideas. Leveling up your skill is trying new things while recording, while editing, well, with ideas too. What have we never tried? Always looking to reach. And it's almost like life. It's just like always keep learning, right? Like in life, if you stop learning, then like you kind of stagnate. And it's the same thing with content creation. It's like how to always keep improving, always keep making it better. And so when you start thinking about it that way, you start realizing, oh, I got to do different stuff. I got to try new shit. And we got to throw so much shit at the wall, because that's how we learn. Not just by talking about it,
right?
By making it and putting it out there.
When you try to target an audience, is that something that you do actually? Like, do you try to target an audience, or do you just cast a net and see who is interested?
Well, I think now becoming more aware of that, of who are we reaching, but also I just make videos that I think are cool. Like I think I would want to like that fucking. It inspires me. I was telling Jay, there's like this sort of fire inspiration that I would get when I would meet a girl that I was like really, really into. And it was just kind of like flow out of me, these romantic acts. And I'm like, I'm going to give you the world, right? And I had a feeling that like, dude, this type of inspiration, I feel like it's a part of me so it can come out in every aspect of life. So then I just try to find ideas that brings that out of me. And that's what I've continuously
Just
found.
follow the spark, essentially. Just follow what excites you.
Yeah.
Constantly.
But I feel like you can be more intentional, right? Like we've been being.
I really do feel like it's just limiting to like niche yourself down like immediately.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially if you're just like starting off. I feel like everyone pitches niching, and it is something that you eventually like you have to do or that you will do. But limiting yourself right off the bat, I think hinders a lot of people from just creating something. And so they never release the reel because it's not very specific to this target audience that they've developed. So it's just a matter of releasing the project that you're interested in and maybe starting off wide. And then as you try out these different areas within a particular topic, you'll eventually find like, oh, I like that, or I don't like this. And then it just narrows down just kind of organically.
Sure.
And then you create.
Do you think you have a niche?
No, I don't think so. Not as of yet.
What excites you? Is there anything specific, like, kind of specific areas that
you
find exciting?
I feel like the travel sector and the adventure sector are kind of like the areas that we've all kind of had like this common interest in. And I feel like as we continue to create content for cities or locations, we eventually will niche down a little bit more. Maybe the niche is in like the style that we create. I mean, Caesar as of right now has a bit of a niche style.
Yeah, it does.
But I mean, we're open to just creating a bunch of different types of content.
I think that's what's cool is I think all of us kind of have our own, at least from what I can see, like a certain style. Obviously we'll see it more when we start creating a lot more, but I think it's important for us to have our own style too. Because then I was, we were talking and I was like, I don't want to create videos that look exactly like yours. I kind of want to tell the story through my eyes rather than just repeat, rinse and repeat. Kind of like you were saying, copy ideas but make them yours.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think at the beginning you need to like just try things. I think try things that you have passion for because I think you'll do better. And then see what sticks. And then if you're having fun, I would just keep rolling. You'll find your niche, eventually.
Yeah.
So,
can I say something?
go ahead.
I think he's so right about the niching early. Like it gets harder.
Why do you think everyone sells that?
Well, it's because it's
as
true.
Advice.
It's true once you figure out
to actually find something fast.
No, just to have a niche and exploit the niche.
Yeah. Like to like get in and just
That's something I can
lock yourself
all
up
over the place.
because I think it's. Oh, go ahead.
I think once you have a certain level of skill and like you like you kind of figure out what you like, what you're good at, the cross section. Like you have to like niching is like super powerful.
How broad can your niche be?
I don't know. I just think of Joe Rogan. I was gonna bring up Joe Rogan. Like Joe Rogan, his niche is like being himself, and like, dude, when I think about like the ideal life for me, I'm like, yes, I would just like to pursue my interests and like fuck your niche. I want to do food. I want to do dancing. I want to do travel and whatever the fuck else comes after that. But I feel like Joe Rogan perfectly like hit it. He just loves comedy and he does it because he loves it. He loves the podcast. He loves fucking fighting. And when I think of niching, I think of niching Joe Rogan style.
I like that a lot. I think I'm going to do the same thing.
But sorry, Jay, I cut you off. I
totally forgot what I was talking about.
You mother stiff arm me.
I started like, now thinking about Joe Rogan. I'm like, what?
Completely lost the train of thought.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, if you think about if you're using Joe Rogan as an example, I mean, it's fighting and it's comedy. I mean, if you think about those two different things.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
No, but then his podcast is like all his other interests. Well, UFO.
Yeah, and it's very broad. Is what I'm saying. Like he can bring anyone on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess
that's cool.
That's more of what I mean. Like fighting and comedy. Like if you think about them individually, they're two very different things. It's not like he's niching in all these particular areas.
Right.
Yeah, like he's able to broaden his area of focus and talk and everything. Like he was able to expand. So, I mean, the power is in niching early in regards to like building an audience and allowing you to grow. But I think the biggest factor for a lot of beginning creators is that it limits them in creating a starting point.
I agree with that sentiment too. What do you think Mr. Beast's niche is?
I think he's similar to Joe, but
like he's just exploiting what he wants to do on a daily, and like that's good advice for anyone, right? Like just do what you love, do what you want to do, and in that way you'll captivate people because you're authentic and honest to people watching.
It depends on the person too, though, because what if that person just isn't very well versed in a lot of things, you know?
That's true.
Like an example, not that it's...
So you're saying not everyone can create...
I think it can work because I'm starting to think as we're talking about it, like, for example, Marie. Like, her doing that is perfect for her. Right?
The fuck were you going to say?
I was going to say, whatever you say, Jay, be careful. We're on the air. I'm just kidding.
No, what I'm saying is she's all about health and have a healthy lifestyle. Like that's...
No, it's truly who she is.
And honestly, I think for her, way. She niched quick, but I think it works out in her favor because that's what she is. That's when I think about her, that's what I think about. And that's what she's doing with her content, you know?
She knew exactly what she wanted to.
Yeah. So I think there is situations where you can just go for it. And just run with what you got and what you're known for. But then you're right. I think you can do a lot of different things.
What excites you, Jay?
Does help.
Who are the creators that excite you right now?
Caesar?
Absolutely.
For real.
Number one. An angel.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's a few. The ones that excite me the most are...
What excites you about the people that excite you?
That they're fearless and they don't really care about the rules too much.
Mm-hmm.
And they're kind of just like, this is what we do. And if you like it, subscribe. But we're not going to like try to like please everybody. Yep. We're kind of just doing this.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that goes back to authenticity too.
Yeah. Once I see that's like, it's becoming like a just purely revenue for the channel, then I'm just kind of like, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
I do feel like that is a learning experience. Really honing in on like that self-confidence and who you are and not abiding to societal expectations. Because I feel like, I mean, like whenever I started like that K-pop reaction journey, it was just always like, oh, the comment says I need to do this now, or I need to do this in my next video, and I need to act this way, or I can't say this.
Right.
And I feel that begins to like limit who you are as an individual, which people were initially attracted to.
Yeah.
And as you continue to refine towards what the comments say or what people say, then you lose that personal touch and your content is no longer valuable.
You're catering to people instead of being authentic. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's and also it's exactly that. That's what happened to me with the TikTok, the travel TikTok. I was just like, this works, let's keep doing it. And then you realize the fire runs out because it's like, that's not you anymore. Like, or like you're bored of it.
Yeah.
And you just got to get out of it. And like, but like, yeah, it's with anything. And with, I think I was looking for a formula for such a long time, like a formula of success.
Like a secret formula.
And I guess there can be, but that's not really the way. Like, now I understand it, and maybe it's because of my personality type, and I feel like our personalities are similar, where we all kind of like go with our...
The path is the way.
Yeah, we kind of go with our gut, rather than we're more analytical. Yep. Do you agree? Right?
According to my personality type, that's exactly right.
And that's like... That's always what I've been, but I thought I had to find like a formula, and I feel like that's a more analytical approach, which is fine. I think you should have both. But the self-awareness of what... If your gut is telling you something, like, you kind of have to like... You have to jump because then it leads to all these things. And then going back to like why not to niche early? Because you don't really know yourself. You got to taste a lot of shit. You got to taste a lot of different styles of content. What if like that food content is what's going to really bring you on fire and and nobody else is going to do it like you? That's why you have to like do a lot of shit.
Dude, what's exciting is that like even just like doing this, like as we're like creating this podcast, it's giving me a whole different like way of like refining like this process towards like the ideas that the questions we can bring up, like just the way this podcast can flow and improve, like just by trying something.
Yeah.
Like
getting a rep in.
Yeah.
Trying it the first time.
Realizing that, oh crap, that's not how you bench press like freaking 45 on one side and 25 on the other.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna realize what the proper form is and what the proper way of actually performing effective reps is.
I agree.
Yeah, so we got to do this like once a week. I'm finding this really valuable.
100%.
There's like things that
I'm actually learning a lot too in the whole process. Like a lot of what you guys have said has been really insightful. I don't know. It's like we talk all the time anyways, but you know, capturing it's part of our idea capture, you know?
the podcast gives you a reason to ask questions that you might not otherwise ask.
I'm like, everything that you guys have said has probed me for something else, like to ask another question, to like dig deeper into what you're saying. So I appreciate all you guys.
Before we move on, I just want to give an example of, it's a fine line though, like trying to find your style and listening to others. Like from my experience with like music, if you're getting advice from someone that's, you know, like at a higher level than you are, or if you see someone next to you that you're at the same level and they're seeing more success, you kind of want to mentally start doing what they're doing, because you're like, oh dude, well how come they're getting success and I'm not?
Yeah.
So you have to be very like assertive and be like, you know what, no, like I'm gonna stick to my guns. But it's really difficult because you're like, well, you know, it's like, it's almost like you said, it's a gut feeling like, no, I gotta stick to my guns. But there's also the element of, but these guys are seeing success doing that, why would I not do that? It's a really fine line. You gotta really be like mentally tough and believe in what you're doing.
I think to piggyback off of that, I think it comes down to like who you seem as a mentor.
That's true.
So like if you see Caesar as a mentor, or if you see somebody higher up as a mentor in regards to like the music industry, then you're going to want to take their advice. And if you see a commenter as a mentor, then you're going to be changing that way. So I mean, put that
even
into perspective.
even with sometimes with the mentor, because I had an experience once where it was bullshit, but the guy was telling me to do all this stuff to my music, and I looked up to him and I never listened to him. And I'm glad I didn't listen to him, because if I listened to him, then I wouldn't have the sound that I have now. I would have been his sound through his ears, because of what he wanted to hear, not what I wanted.
And as a result of that, you wouldn't have been as well received.
As well received,
because you have a distinctive style.
Yeah, my compliment is that, or the compliment I get often is that, like, you have a very distinct style. But if I would have done those changes to this guy I used to look up to, I would be West End. I wouldn't be me.
I have a question on that. When you were trying to do your style, was he like, no, that doesn't work?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And he would say like, oh, dude, this isn't going to get signed. It doesn't even have vocals.
Dude, okay, that's big. Because what you were talking about, that's big. It's like you experience that with like peers, with friends.
And this guy's on.
That's why you have to be careful who you take advice.
Yes, right.
You know,
even if they're way ahead.
Even if it's like you said, even if it's a mentor, you think
it's perception too. A lot of it.
Because he's the kind of guy that I was like, okay, I want to be at his level in a few years, right? He's doing like EDC, all of them. But you know, I wanted to do what my vision. You know, it's like, this is why I'm doing it. So yeah, you got to be kind of like,
oh yeah,
on your, you know, just be
resolute.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's huge, because like I've learned that too. Like even if you look up to them, if somebody is telling you not to follow your gut, if they're not even considering that you might be able to come up with something new, they're like, all right, that's actually not even who I want to be.
Yeah,
because like the best mentors that I've had, they're always open-minded. They understand.
They're optimists.
Yeah. And they say like they understand that their path they found because they kind of did that, which they listened to everyone, and they kind of like started to get a feel for things, but then they found their own style, and they understand that nobody can really do it like them. And if you're telling somebody don't follow your gut, it's like you're preventing them from finding the truth, like their truth. You know what I mean?
True.
And then that's what it's all about. It's a lonely journey, and there's not an example out there. There's people like that. You'll find different aspects and different people that you like that part of their music or that part of their music, and then your music is going to be
that's exactly what it should be. I think you should take all your
it's an amalgamation of all of them,
put them into one.
Yeah,
and that's what makes people, when they hear it, they say, oh, this is Jahir.
Yeah,
like
so
they don't even have to know.
What is that?
Yeah.
And that's the difference between being inspired by someone and being mentored by someone, I guess, you know, ultimately.
Yeah. And I think that's going to go in with what we're doing too. I'm sure we'll run into someone that's like, oh, I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. You should listen to what I'm doing.
Well, they're all out there. I mean, there's a lot of people with 1 million subscribers, you know?
Yeah. But I think the cool thing about our team is that we got each other, that we think like this. And like, oh, bro, this is what you want, a tribe like this to move forward. And we can kind of talk about it like, did you hear that guy? That guy's like Like he's got 1 million followers, but he's like telling us how to do this.
It's kind of a douche.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick. No, I really think we're gonna build something big.
I don't want to be called that by anyone. Hopefully.
Yeah, we're on a path. I get very excited.
Yeah, I'm
Can I
excited.
just rant a little bit because I've been holding this back.
You've been holding it back.
Dude, Jay brought me a cold coffee. Thank you, Jay.
Nice coffees.
I released the chains there.
Yeah, it's weird. You see how wicked I see? Yeah. Okay. Dude, it's because like my gut. What, bitch?
Jumping out of his chair and the fuck I was like, now
It's because I followed my gut. All right, I sound woo-woo right now, but like for a long time, for like the last 8 years, when I look back, and maybe I'm forgetting all the times that I followed my gut and it was a mistake, but dude, a lot of the big
Was it ultimately a mistake though, right?
yeah, it always leads to something like, oh, well, that wasn't it, but then that led to this, which led to this bigger thing. But when I think of us and what we're building here, it's almost like I don't even have to try. Like, it's like, oh, dude, yeah, like this is it.
It's
like,
easier when you have energy to feed off of, that's for sure.
yeah, but I just feel like we're on this ride. We're going to build something huge, and we're not even, like, it's kind of coming out of us. We're not really trying. We're trying hard, but the trying is in the type of trying that, like, when you're a lawyer and you don't want to be a lawyer,
Amen.
right?
Yeah.
It's no, it's straight up. Like,
that's him.
Or like when you're good at sales, like I was good at sales, and every day, like I was good and I knew I was good, and it was just like,
Selling for what, right?
yeah, I have to try. It was like try,
Selling for what?
and it was like grinding, like
When you're selling yourself, selling stuff that you're passionate about, selling, a cause, selling, our four livelihoods, that's important, so it kind of motivates you a little bit more.
It's a good rant. It's a good rant.
I loved it.
Like,
Love the energy.
dude, it's just, I see it. Like, I'm looking at you guys, but I'm also looking at the future. And I'm like, oh my God.
You said some really deep stuff right there. I really appreciated what you said.
How do we look in the future?
Dude,
we still
honestly,
cute?
no, can I say, look, I feel like we're going to build a huge fucking company that is like going to go beyond us. And we're going to have like we're going to help a lot of content creators in this new type of economy, new entrepreneurship. We're going to like get into shit that we never thought about. And then our own brands are going to be equally as strong. Like
I agree.
And then we're going to be into these worlds where we're going to be around people who are world class, the best at what they do, because we are going to be the best at what we do, which is kind of like content creation.
Taking steps in the right direction every day. That's all we have to do.
And at a certain point, I think we might all take different paths because that's just a natural progression of it, but we'll still have this connection. It all came from this. You know what I mean? And
it all emanated from this.
Yeah. And
I hope we do take, because if we do take different paths, that means everyone's brand is strong enough to just say,
Absolutely.
I think it'll happen because it'll just be like, oh, well, time to do the next thing.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This got as big as it could.
I think something about people like us too is we can't be stagnant. So like you said, like you have to constantly be evolving,
Right.
iterating on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get bored of doing content creation like in 4 years or something, 5 years, and it's the next thing.
Yep.
It seems like every 5 years of my whole life, it's like I change something. I'm like I want to go chase and figure this out, be the best of that, or this and then this and then this and then this. I hope that's the case.
Creating whatever is exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I won't leave this until I'm the best at it. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. Like
Love that.
5 years ago, what were you doing? I was not on social media.
5 years ago.
I mean, I was, but I wasn't really doing it.
So 5 years ago is when I was. I had probably not finished school, but I was with that company, Kobo, becoming a marketer, and then went from just taking pictures to being the marketing director.
Were you doing music?
I was doing music, yeah.
Always doing music. Always.
But the music was also taking off. 5 years ago, my music was like trash, just like everybody else's. But now it's picking up. But yeah, I mean,
It's just when you view something in hindsight, anything that you've ever created, like I'm going to look back and say it's trash too.
but I'm proud
it's probably
to say
not
it's
trash.
Like when we say the videos now suck, I like that because then I want to look back and be like, damn, we've improved so much. Like, look how bad those were. They still got 100,000 views. That's what excites me the most. It's just I want to get better at stuff,
Dude, yeah. It's
and I think we are.
Yeah, it's a process. 5 years ago, I had just moved back from New York, and I was a lawyer still. Well, I am a lawyer, but I think
Legit.
I was merely a photographer back then, and like to kind of blossom that into a business. Doing advertising and marketing has been really cool to do, but really hard also. But it's a fun process.
What about you, Angel?
What was the question?
5 years ago.
Where were you?
I was making 5 years ago.
Yeah.
2018. I wasn't in anything, in any content creation. I was just in nursing.
Oh,
Like I was just working bedside UMC. Yeah, I was starting my master's in nursing school. So I was studying to be a nurse practitioner. So I wasn't any of that. It wasn't until 2019 I took a trip to Japan and then recorded some stuff on that trip. And then 2020 I started making some home videos.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm in a completely different position now.
Yeah, same here. I think it took being around a lot of creative people for me. Like I never viewed myself as super creative until I got around like creative people and started making videos and seeing that videos were actually like really cool and fun to make. You know, like it was just like the creative process for photography, but much more involved. But that really changed everything.
How did you get around creative people? Like, 'cause
I
you were
brought them around me.
Like you just started hanging out with looking.
No, I was doing photography and then people would ask me for like a different service. Like they're like, hey, do you do graphic design? And I would be like, well, I know a graphic designer that I met one time, you know, and that's kind of how I did it. And I loved being around creative people. And I found that creative people didn't necessarily have the business sense that I had, you know, and I could help market them and pitch their services and get them working more as a freelancer. So that's how I kind of just brought them around I met them, interacting them in El Paso, and that's that.
Dude, your skill on like bringing people together and being able to delegate, I love it, and I love learning from it.
I appreciate that.
It's fucking legit. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. We got that skill on the team, because like that's how I feel like you grow a big ass company.
Yeah, I don't think that's like attributed to my past as an attorney. I honestly think that's my dad, because my dad is a business owner and he's always taught me those kind of
Delegate,
how to delegate, how to be responsible for things and get things moving. And as a lawyer, you certainly do that, but I think it was my dad who ultimately taught me all that stuff. How long do you guys envision these podcast episodes going? I'm just curious, because I wonder if I should go into a whole new area.
I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah.
How
Do you guys have
feel?
time? Is everyone good on time?
I have to leave in like an hour.
Okay.
And just for the record, I knew Zach before Zazu. Like we didn't come together because of business or creativity. I've known him like
true in a way,
forever.
but I think we
Tell
did
the
come
story.
together because of
No.
creativity.
What I'm saying is I don't know you because of I know you.
No.
Brothers were best friends.
Yeah, me and his brother were best friends.
And then
but
before that, your brother and my brother were best friends.
yeah, that's true. But
We all switched best, and then now me and him are best friends.
Yep.
It's weird.
And you're not best friends with the brother anymore?
We're friends.
yeah,
Not best
no.
friends.
Well, he lives in Dallas. I love him. He's a great guy. No, because Jay's my best friend.
Yeah. Did you not hear what I said? No, yeah. And then he knew I was doing marketing, and he's like, dude, well, I became a contractor, and I was gonna start looking for business, and he was like, dude, well, hop on. I'm like, all right, I'll hop on.
Hop on the train. Let's go.
And we've been fucking
Chugging along.
chewing.
Yep.
Like when you were about to start the business, or you had already started?
I had started Zazu Photography, which was my first business. And then I didn't register an LLC. I was just like doing business as a sole proprietor. And then, after Jay, it was after you that we started Zazu Productions, which is the actual company that we still own now.
Yeah.
We had some other business owners, but they didn't make it.
Yeah, they chose other paths.
It's the Game of Thrones. When I walked into that place next door when I first met Carlos, and then he was with some other partner he had. They were explaining that to me. They're like, dude, it's like Game of Thrones. You're here like in season 3.
But honestly, like I disagree with your assessment that we didn't meet because of creativity, because the reason that I remember this specifically, that I like gravitated towards Jay, is because like me and his older brother, we would have a good time and like go out and have fun. But like whenever we would go to their house, Jay would always be in his like dungeon, which is his music room, creating all the time. And I love that. So I'd always like go bother him and stand behind him and be like, what are you doing? Like, can I see? Like, can you play me something? Like, put it in the speaker.
Sure.
Yeah. Can you make a song right now for me? You're naming after me?
That's awesome. So you guys knew each other like in high school?
ZZ?
No.
No.
How old are you?
30.
Yeah, I'm older than him by a lot.
Dude, a lot of my friends are older than me by like the same gap.
Yeah, he's an old soul.
And also,
The
Time out. Well, you guys keep talking. I'm gonna go check.
Jay, I got a question for you.
okay.
I want to know what you thought of us when Zach started bringing this up. How did he start bringing this up? Because we didn't meet you for a while.
Well, it's because like I was explaining. Well, I explained to both of you this. When we moved here, it wasn't a space to come and really work. It was a studio. Like we've never really had a place to.
Zazu Studios.
Yeah.
Where we are right now.
Where we are now, it's a fucking library to me.
It's got such a good energy now that you guys moved in. Like all of it feels more legitimate. Like we needed a space. Like I had my home studio was absurd. Like I used to bring clients to my office at home and do like headshots and stuff like that, like to my house.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4 dogs. Doesn't make any sense.
No, I get it.
But we needed a space, and this was just a good price, good location. And I always wanted a location. Jay knows this. Like we almost moved into multiple locations before. We almost moved into a huge location, like your guys' size, and we were going to do a whole co-working space there. That was always my idea. I wanted a creative co-working space. I wanted a place where creatives came together. I love to be surrounded by that energy of creative people.
Yeah.
Sorry, do I almost like keep hitting you in the face?
No.
Hit me.
What was the question?
What did I think about you guys when you brought it?
Yeah.
Well, at first, I was confused at first. I thought you guys were lawyers. And I was like, oh, cool, they're lawyers. No, because I didn't know. I just saw. And then he started telling me like, yo, well, they're really good at making videos. I'm all cool. And then he started showing me stuff. And then I was like, cool. But there was not a lot of reason for me to come down here. Unless
because he would work remotely from his house.
Yeah, so like there's no offices here. There's no, there was one chair and like a table.
Yeah.
So there wasn't and so it wasn't until he's like, hey, which was like a week or two ago, like, yo, these boys want to move in, and then that's when you guys started popping off on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, this is dope.
Jane has followed your whole trajectory with me because I would always send him, I was like, look at this today. Look at this today.
What's dope is like, I always wanted to make content like that.
Jay always preached to that.
And I preached that to my clients or potential clients.
Yep, always.
Like with Marie and like, or whoever else, I'm like, dude, it needs to be this way.
Yep.
That's what people are eating up, is that UGC, that user-generated content.
I took your recipe, just tips that I've learned from being around you guys.
Yeah.
And Sarah, my wife, she owns a spa, and she was making content in Disneyland. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, we're going to test something here.
Hey.
And we made it like a little, we added graphics and little tips to each like video slide, and it like hit very well. Like it's performing really well.
Oh, good. Yeah, nice.
Just little things. And I was like, just trying to tell her, I was like, I know you don't like to do this. I was like, but look at the difference it's going to make in, what happens to the video once you post it. And she wants to cast a wide net. She's got an online store, like she needs to be targeting everyone.
Yeah. My mom's looking for her.
Oh,
Sarah.
God.
She wants to get an appointment there.
We need to get Jessica Yu in here on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, we could.
Dude, me and Jay, I mean, I don't know, you tell me, or maybe the whole team, I want to make a video
for me yet.
I want to make a video, and then we get facials.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sarah would love that. Sarah would love that.
But we'll make a video.
Yeah.
Try to blow her up.
Yeah.
Because you said she has a beautiful space, right?
Oh, yeah. But I told her about what you guys are doing, and she's like, can we wait till I get the new spot, because she's opening a new location and a substation twice the size, so right when she opens she wants to do it.
When is she getting it?
They already signed the lease and everything. They're doing the build out right now. They have an interior designer, Urban Oak Design Co. She's really kind of know what that is, and so she's a local. We did videos for her. She's a local interior designer. The one that's posted on my Instagram today actually is, she started posting our first video, and it's doing great too.
Wow.
You should check it out.
Yeah.
But she's designing the new space for Sarah, and it should be open by October.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can go make them there and get a facial.
Fuck yeah, I'm about it.
And we'll get Uciel to film.
I am hyped.
Yeah.
Hey, Angel, what did you think of Zach?
Have you guys gotten a facial before?
What's that? A facial? No, I've never got. Actually, I may have gotten a facial many years ago, like back when I was in high school. But it left me with scars. Like,
Really?
Or she'll do something to like literally remove the.
She can lift scars. Yeah, she can heal acne scars.
Because like I had like a lot more acne in high school, and then I got like a treatment done, But then like she dug her nails like super deep into
No,
like, my
that's
face.
not where you're supposed to.
Yeah. And so she was trying to pop the heck out of them. And freaking, left me with scars
Yeah.
for the rest of my life.
Wow.
Big old divot.
She does UV treatments and chemical peels to lift scars. I know too much about aesthetics.
You should know.
I know a lot. I've ran her front desk before. I
I've
was a
seen
good
it.
salesman.
That's legit.
She was like even impressed.
Oh yeah.
Where is it? On the west side, right?
It's on the west side at the substation. It's called Shades of Blush Skin.
Right next to 210.
Oh, right next to it. Cool.
It's
nice.
called Shades of Blush. Sorry, I added skin.
In that Montecillo area?
Oh, no. On the west side, Donovan.
and Sunset.
East siders don't know.
No? Damn.
Not at the fountains.
It's not at the fountains. It was fountains on the west side.
Yeah, no, I got confused. I was like, what side of town are we talking about?
Bro, I kind of want to live in Montecillo for a little bit.
Dude,
I
nice.
used to live there.
Actually, downtown. I want to live downtown.
Yeah, you should live downtown.
Sunset
Caesar,
Heights.
start the movement.
Sunset Heights, bro.
Yeah, Sunset Heights is cool, but everyone always lives in Sunset Heights.
Well, you
I
have
meet
to.
people living
But you
downtown.
have to live
Because
at Sunset Heights at least once. In your
I was talking to the downtown development guy.
Right.
He was saying that grocery stores follow people. So we need people here before we can get a grocery store. So
Yeah,
I need to start the movement.
and like I can live anywhere. Like these apartments that like
You can. You're 26.
dude, I'm
you're
26,
single.
Just live upstairs, dude. That's what I want to do.
Dude,
That'd be perfect.
But
we
the
have
shower.
a pillow and blanket.
But we don't have a shower.
Oh, that could be.
You have a gym membership?
I do have a gym membership.
There you go.
Hey, but it's like 20 minutes from here.
Yeah, I need to get a closer one. But like, yeah, ideally live upstairs. That'd be the studio shower, so everybody can go shower upstairs, do whatever you need. Give me the keys. Give everyone a key.
So do we want to talk about why the fucking genius podcast? Can I say that?
Because we're
No.
not that.
Jesus.
Fucking genius, bro.
Do you want to do it? You want to talk about it?
Yeah. No, you can.
All right, because you know I'll talk about it.
Because you know I'll talk
He
about
wants
it.
to.
Caesar, I don't know, but
I like it.
I
I like giving people the lead. Go ahead.
play the ball. I want to pass the ball around.
I don't know, but I'm a point guard. I like the best.
ENFJ.
We're at about an hour on the podcast now.
You,
All right.
you try to
Wrap it
stop
up.
it.
Well, just because I have a lot of things to edit. And Isabel is currently asking
About?
the products.
Oh, Jesus. All right, yeah, we do have to. All right.
So how do we wind this down?
This is part one. We'll be
Part
back to
one?
Part
Yeah,
two later.
We'll be talking.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There's so much to talk about.
I feel like we covered a lot of bases today, and we kind of went all over the place. And like,
I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's real
we
good.
covered a lot of.
We said we're
aspects
not
of
going to
content
take too
creation.
early, right? When did we have a full discussion about that?
And we'll definitely have some guests on here too. Other content creators,
Yeah.
artists, different types of people.
Right.
Who can talk about what we like to talk about.
Should get a homeless guy in here one day. You can't wear the headphones though.
I like how this went.
Yeah.
Like, it was really good. It was,
Yeah,
I
I
feel
agree.
like looking back on this 5 years from now, it's going to be like, whoa, that's crazy.
Do I need to say anything else to wind it down? Like,
I think we should just end it now.
okay.
No. Oh, I kind of want to say one last thing.
Okay.
Same.
Caesar, say it.
Well, I kind of want to, like, predictions for 5 years from now. Where are we going to be? Honestly, I think we're going to be making a shit ton of money.
Monica.
Ungodly amounts of money.
I'm traveling the world.
We're going to be traveling the world. And
Because we have ungodly amounts of money, it makes it easier.
well, and also I think we're going to have very large followings, not only on our personal pages, maybe not. I mean, it depends on whether we want to be famous or not, but like for the brand. And it's going to be awesome. That's my prediction.
I love it. I agree. Thank you.
Ferraris.
I don't need a Ferrari.
Namaste. Well, I'm buying you one, so
I don't know how to drive a Ferrari.
I don't know what you're going to do with it.
I don't know what you're going to do with it.
So thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. That was fun.